Hello and welcome back. I'm Joe, and this is the Ultimate Love Letter. Thank you so much for being here on this episode. I think we're up to 11. And I did say earlier on that at some point I would stop counting, and it looked like I stopped counting. But this morning when I got up, I thought, wow, this is episode 11. We are really doing this. We are really in the middle of this. So I want to thank you so much, my beautiful community, for building the space with me, for collaborating with me in these efforts. Thank you so much for opening your heart to hear God's wisdom. Thank you so much for your prayers, for your support, for sharing this message. Thank you for commenting and subscribing. Thank you so much. Every effort means the world to me. I cannot stress that enough. I thank God every day for the platform we've created. I thank God every day that this is my destiny, that this is my work, and I could not do that without you, my beautiful support system. So thank you so much for allowing me to be of service to you. I thought today we really needed to touch on what I feel is maybe the most important episode yet. Right before I've come on, I kind of just sat with what I want us to get into today, and immediately, I've been filled with great emotion. And so, I think this is the most important one. When we talk about the ultimate love letter and what that means, God gave me this name about 2 years ago, and He gave it to me to showcase all his powerful works that I would do, that He would lead me to do under this name, the ultimate love letter. And what that means is God's ultimate love message to all living beings, His love, His reverence for everything He's created. So not only humans, but animals that He's created, the forests, insects, weather, all of it, all of His creation. It is a platform that we are to pour out and remind one another of His love for all of it. And so a big part of that is animals, right? Insects, environment, His earth, and all that inhabits it. So that's what we're going to get into today. We talked a little bit about yesterday about the power of our mind, the power of our intention. And with that, I spoke about, the reasons why I became vegan, how I organically became vegan. And so God showed me the reason why He led me to become a vegan, and let's remove the title, just to eat plants. Let's just say that, to not harm any living being. I said yesterday that I began living a plant-based lifestyle, first and foremost for my health, right? Because we understand that meat, dairy, these are level 1 carcinogens. They cause cancer. So for one, my health is why I eat plant-based. Secondly, for my animals. And then thirdly, for the environment, if I have to put a 1, 2, 3 to it. Me first and foremost, because I can't pour from an empty cup. So I have to take care of my temple first. But let's get into everything else that we are revering and protecting when we are deciding to live a plant-based lifestyle. Now, I just want to say this. If you are not plant-based, don't beat yourself up, right? We are not taught often about our food, or we're not taught at all. We're not taught in schools. Society really doesn't teach us, although now there is awakening, and thank God for that. You know, people are speaking about it on, larger platforms, and the powers of, having a plant-based diet. But if you are not, let me just say, it's not about perfection. Right? I'm not suggesting, although it would be wonderful if everyone, ate a plant-based lifestyle, if everyone just ate plants, but we're not speaking to that. I'm speaking to just simply balance, right? Like, what can we do? What little tiny changes can we do in our life that will impact the world greatly? Because it does. Every little bit counts. Every little bit is profound. As God changed me, as God healed me, he began to heal everything, right? He began to heal my mind and the way I looked at everything that has life. And I oftentimes say, I don't even recognize myself. Like, I was unknowingly or knowingly and didn't care, consuming cows, pigs, chickens. I didn't care that the cruelty on how chickens were maintained, how they lived, how they were treated. I didn't care. Give me the eggs. I don't care. Give me the leg. I didn't care that I saw, a furry spider in my home. Squash it. That was my mind. Squash the spider. Kill it. I'm afraid. But I'll never forget the morning when I recognized a change in me. I was getting up, going to work, and I was running out the back door, and outside of my patio, it was a sunny day, and off to my patio was this giant spider web on the bushes, the trees right outside my back door. And in the middle of the spider web was this giant spider, just dead center. And immediately, my impulse was, oh my God, let me go get the insect killer. And so I ran to my closet where it contained a giant, gallon size insect repellent killer. And as I rushed out the back door to spray it, my soul stopped me dead in its tracks. And my soul said, no, wait, look again. And I'll never forget, I looked again and I saw something different. I saw a big, beautiful spider sunbathing in the sun. It was taking in the morning sunshine. It was taking in God's energy, God's healing. It was filling the sun within its spirit. And here I come with some freaking raid to take it out. That was the moment I said, oh my gosh, I have changed. And so, needless to say, I didn't spray it. I actually, of course, I let it live. And I would let all spiders live after that. But I was still afraid. So I actually told the spider as I was running out of the door, I said, you know what? I'm going to let you live, but you better not be here when I get home. And when I got home that night, he was gone. Not only was he gone, the spider was gone. It's just magical, what God will do when you allow to live in harmony with everything. And that was the beginning of the new me, not wanting to hurt anything with a life. Understanding that if God has given life to these beings, they are here for a purpose. We are meant to live in harmony with all of them. And I understand when we're talking about spiders, oh my God, there's poisonous. Oh my God, we don't understand. Can this kill me? When you are living in harmony, when your intention is to not hurt anything, then understand that energy is very real. Nothing will hurt you. Because again, if we haven't learned anything yet to this point, it is that the energy we are putting back, we are attracting back to us. So if our intention is to hurt, to murder, to slaughter, then yes, we are attracting that. We are attracting pain back into our life, hurt into our existence. But when we step into the field of, I'm gonna not hurt anything that's living here with me, then it's not going to hurt us. I'll tell you, I let spiders live in my home now. And, yes, if there's a spider that's coming up the drain and I need to take a bath, yes, I safely remove it. I use a 2-cup situation. I got it down. I'll trap it, take it outside and let it free. I know how to safely remove these animals now. But I'll see often, like in my home, when it's rainy, for instance, when it's rainy outside, I'll begin to see a spider may make their way inside. They're just looking for shelter, and I know now it's like, okay, you'll be here about 5 days. I've seen it a million times, hundreds of times in my house, dozens of times in my house. Okay, let me not over exaggerate. And I'll let the spider just come in and get out of the elements and they'll just be. They just are in the home looking for a dry place to sleep, to rest. And as I let them be, in the corner, wherever they are, I'm untouched. And then like clockwork, usually around day 5, they're gone. They've moved on, and that's just a little bit of the power of when we are living in harmony with everything, all living beings. I remember when God, he told me he was sending me on a trip. And I remember he said, you are connected to me. Now I am going to connect you to the world. And I remember him saying, I'm going to show you what you're protecting with your lifestyle. Meaning what I'm protecting with being a vegan. And he says, we're starting first with the waters. And he sent me to Maldives. And I remember him also saying, next will be the jungle. And then he sent me to the Amazon, like maybe, 6 months after that, Maldives. But let's just talk on my Maldives trip. That was my first ever trip where God was showing me why it is important to do my part back home in my little place of LA, my little apartment of LA. The little efforts that I'm making every day, whether it's to use reusable items, which I do, which I always am conscious about, my footprint on the environment. I'm not frivolously walking around with paper coffee cups, right? No, I buy a hydro flask to carry my coffee. I don't buy plastic water bottles. No, I use a filter and I use a hydro flask to carry my water around with me. I recycle everything that is recyclable. I do this. I'm I am doing my small part to protect the environment, to protect the waters, to protect each other, to protect you and me. My small little part. And with doing my small little part on eating plant-based and refusing to eat animals, God said, I'm going to show you what your efforts have done. I'm going to show you why it's important for you to teach this to everyone else. And so he sent me to Maldives, and, I'm like, okay, God, I'm here. And in my head, I was like, what tours can I do? All the touristy things. And just organically, God was like, no, the water. You're going to be in the water the whole time. And he submerged me in that ocean every day, all day, for the entire week I was there. I scuba dived, I free dived. You couldn't get me out of the ocean. He needed me to see something. And if you haven't heard yet, 80% of Maldives beauty, and it is beautiful. It is the most beautiful place I have ever visited to this day. And I am a world traveler. And Maldives, nothing even comes close to Maldives. And with that being said, 80% of Maldives beauty is underwater. I didn't know that going there. See how God works. God knew, and God wanted to show me. And so as I was submerged in the depths of these beautiful waters, I was met with the most playful marine life. Let me say that again. I was submerged with the most playful marine life. It was like, when I started snorkeling, I'll just say, it was like the fish didn't see me. No one saw me. When I took a tank, and now I'm talking like I'm 5 meters underneath the ocean, then it was like, oh, now you're ready to play. That was the energy I was given from the fish that I saw, the turtles. It was one fish, I'll never forget it. He was like in what looked like a box-shaped kind of coral, some kind of beechwood, something. And he was actually playing hide and seek. He was like going out, and then he was coming in. And he was going out, and then he was coming in. And for anyone may saying, oh, he was just hiding or whatnot. No. Understand the energy. When you are just aligned, with your soul, you begin to feel energy deeply. Like, we all feel energy no matter where we are in life, our spiritual stages, whatever. But this energy was very much hide and seek. It was very much like, let's play. And that is the experiences. That is the truth. That becomes our life experiences when you are living in harmony. When you're living in harmony with all living beings, it just becomes a playground with all of it. You begin to see their spirit. You begin to feel their energy. This fish, this thing, this spider, this turtle, this caterpillar, this ladybug, this thing, this being that God created has a life and has a purpose. How dare I come and tamper with that, take that out? Am I superior? No, I'm not. I'm one with. I am one with. I am aligned with. I am serving the same God that ladybug serves. I am serving the same God that the birds sing to and praise to every morning. We are one. And I don't know about you, but I just want to live in harmony with those beautiful beings that are here to serve just as we are. Now, we as humans, we are the most dangerous animal. We are destructive. We feel we are superior. But that's total misalignment. And I remember as I was leaving Maldives, I could feel. For one, let me just back it up. As I was going to Maldives, I could feel the ocean. I could feel the marine life calling to me. It was a very real sensation. I was being summoned across the world to be shown something. And as I was leaving, I remember also being asked to never forget don't forget us was the call from the ocean, from everything living in the ocean. Don't forget us, meaning spread the word. Our oceans are warming, right? They're warming. Climate change is real. If you don't know, now you know it is real. We are seeing our coral that's dying at astronomical rates, like crazy rates. And our corals, if you don't know, are also a living being. They also serve a giant purpose. For one, they're buildings for our fish and our wildlife. They're cities. And they're beautiful. Like, think about that. God thought of it all, right? Like, our coral, when it's healthy, comes in different shapes, sizes, colors, and they are housing our marine life. They serve a purpose. They place our waters in balance. It's a beautiful ecosystem that when it's healthy, it thrives, and it helps us living on land to thrive. And when it's out of balance, as it is now with global warming, our corals are dying, our fish are dying. Everything that feeds off and is protected by these reefs are going away. Add that to overfishing. We're overfishing these waters. Funny, not funny. We are doing the most harm, the most destruction. And we think it only affects them that are living in the ocean. It is affecting all of us. It is touching us on land. I mean, you see it. I live in LA. We had a tornado in LA like 6 months ago. What? It used to be sunny California. No, it's been the most gloomy place of anywhere I have traveled. Every time I get back to LA, no matter where I've been in the world, and I mean, even on my Iceland trip, I got back to LA and LA was the coldest place I'd ever been. When did that happen? And how does global warming, how is that happening? And what can we do to stop it, to slow it down? Well, what we can do is emissions that are going up, right, into our environment. And that's, of course, the factories, the cars that we're driving, the trains that we're taking, the planes that we're taking. These contribute to it. So how can we help slow that? I mean, can we ride share? Can we go electric cars? Can we ride a bike sometimes? Water bottles for me are the worst. I despise the plastic water bottle industry, for one, for so many reasons. For one, why are we draining, taking our own natural resources out of our rivers. And now bottling it up in the worst ever material and then selling it to us. This is my resource. Water is mine. It's yours. It's mine. It's freely given. Why am I now asked to pay for it in the worst material? And then the worst material goes into our oceans, right? If we're not recycling, it's ridiculous. We shouldn't be buying these things. Recycling is secondary. We shouldn't be buying into this industry at all. The plastic is going into our waters, polluting our waters. Fish are eating the plastic, they're dying, and then you're dying too. You know why? Because you're eating the fish that's eating the plastic. So guess what? You're eating the plastic. How's that for karma? How is that for karma? What can we do from home to save our waters, to save our wildlife? What can we do back home to save our environment? We can start with maybe replacing 1 meal a week to plant-based, right? That saves animals. That saves our fish. We can start with maybe not freaking out when we see a spider in our home. Can you leave it? When you see a beetle flying through the air, do you need to swat it and knock it off its flight? It's enjoying the sunshine like you are. Like shit, it has shit to do. It's working. While you're trying to swat it out of the air, when you're trying to block it from doing what it's meant to do. Can you maybe buy I was going to cuss, but can you buy a freaking filter and maybe throw a filter on your faucet or a Brita in your refrigerator and drink out of a glass? Can you buy a hydro flask that is wonderful, by the way, and keeps your water ice cold, or keeps your hot water boiling hot all day for 24 hours? Like, can we make these small changes? Can we limit the use of one-use items? Do you need a plastic fork when you do takeout? Or if you're using plastic, and I don't want to promote this, but can you recycle anything that you do use that is single use? Can you do that? Like, take 5 seconds out of your day to just separate your cans, your bottles, so they can be recycled properly. Can you do that? If you can do that, you are a part of saving these animals. You're a part of saving this earth. You are doing your part. You are beginning to live in harmony with nature and everything that has a purpose, like you and like me. You know, God also sent me to the Amazon after Maldives, and that was the forest, and I got to see firsthand how we're deforesting the Amazon to build more infrastructure. What happens when we cut down the trees? Forget about our oxygen and our clean air. But what about the animals that are living in the trees, that are depending on the berries of this tree? This is their home. This is their food. Do we not give a damn? If we don't give a damn, we are seeing that when we don't give a damn in our life, because that is misalignment. If we just don't care, we don't have compassion. If we don't care, where is our compassion? The same God that created you and me created a pig. He's not a ham sandwich. He's not a pair of shoes. The same God that created you and me created a snake. We were meant to live in harmony. We were meant to let these beings do what they are meant to do as we do what we are meant to do. Will you join me in refusing to harm these animals, these insects? will you join me to maybe don't harm as many animals as we do yearly? Do you know how many sharks are killed millions for shark fin soup? What? We need the shark in our ocean. Do we know what we're doing when we were removing that mass amount from the waters? Every little thing has a purpose. There's fish that clean the bottom of the oceans. And when we don't have those fish because we're overfishing, then all of a sudden things begin to grow out of balance. Then this fish no longer has that food. So now they're eating this type of fish or this type of whatever that's in the ocean. Like everything is connected. Everything has a purpose. And when we are overfishing, when we are overkilling, when we are mass producing, we are sending things out of balance. And when we participate, when we buy into these industries that keep things out of balance, our life becomes out of balance. Make no mistake. Are you in balance or are you not? Are you a part of the problem or are you a part of the solution? If you're a part of the problem, you're going to see the effects of that in your life. And it's going to echo through every point of your life. I know you may not see it if you're living in balance because it's normal to you. But when you are living in balance and in harmony, that too echoes through every part of your being. What happens when you live a life of being in harmony? I don't know. Maybe God sends you all over the world for playtime with these animals. I don't know. Maybe no disease lives in your body because you're not hurting anyone, so nothing will hurt you. I don't know. Maybe you could camp in a mesh hammock in the middle of the Amazon with the sounds of all of nature by you and be untouched by all of it. That was me, by the way. I didn't get stung by something deadly. I didn't get bit by a rattlesnake. A monkey didn't come up and harass me. And yet I was just in a hammock in the middle of the Amazon, just listening to all of God's beauty in the jungle. I didn't have any malaria shots. No, didn't come back with a malaria either, or a parasite. Nope. I was allowed to live freely. And God said, oh, you don't hurt others? You don't hurt my creation? Guess what? They don't hurt you either. That is the power of our intention as well. So I just want to encourage you to do your small part, whatever it might be. Whether it's you devote 1 meal a month. I know I said earlier week, but if you devote 1 meal a month to say, you know what? I'm not going to have a hamburger. Maybe I'll have an Impossible Burger. You know what? I'm not going to have a steak. Maybe I'll look up a delicious plant-based recipe of a dish that tastes like a steak or that tastes like a salmon. They exist. I know. I eat them. If you love salmon, like I used to love salmon, Google plant-based salmon dish. You will be shocked, astounded by the laundry list of recipes and the plant-based dishes that you could create that will taste like a salmon, right? Like it's all about, with the salmon, I know off the top of my head, there's one with like a carrot, right? You like marinate a carrot, it becomes the texture of a salmon, the seasonings that they use that make it taste like a fish. It's crazy. I'll just say this. I was at Olak, this vegan restaurant downtown LA, and I had a shrimp sandwich. Of course, it says shrimp, but it's a vegan restaurant, so it's not shrimp, but it's meant to taste like shrimp. And it was the most freshest tasting shrimp, quote unquote, sandwich that I had ever had in my life. So we actually pulled the chef out of the kitchen and we were like, how do you get this thing, whatever it is, to taste like shrimp? And he said, oh, easy. We pluck the plant that the shrimp is feeding off of that makes the shrimp taste like shrimp. And we just cook the shrimp, the plant rather. Duh. Yeah, cut out the middleman and save a life. So that is the beauty of where vegan recipes have come. It has elevated beyond. It's not just a salad. I could not just live off a salad. It is beautiful creations that you would have probably never thought exist had you not gone looking for them. Just research. Whatever you want. I want fish sticks tonight. What's the vegan fish sticks? In will come a laundry list of recipes. So I encourage you, maybe substitute 1 meal a month. If you can substitute 1 meal a week, chances are, if you're willing to do 1 meal a week, you will begin to change rapidly because you would be like, oh my goodness, the recipes are incredible. They taste so similar, if not better, often better. And I'm feeling better. I'm feeling better in my body. I'm feeling better for the contribution I'm doing in the world. Will you join me and step further into harmony with all living beings? That's my intention. Thank you for sticking it out with me, getting that emotional episode out. It was important. I promised my sea life that I would. And I have, and I will continue until my dying day. Leave our living beings alone. Leave the homies alone. Please do your part in protecting all of it. Our oceans, our forests, our earth. It is God's creation. If you love God, and I know you do because you're here, then you, like me, want to do your part in helping protect it all. Thank you. Until next time, love yourself and love others. Talk to you soon. Bye for now.